Welcome to the distance version of Finance 210. So if you look at the home page on the web page, you'll find this, and it basically gives you the procedure that you're going to go through for each one of these sections. If you look down here on the right margin, it's got the content browser, but what I'd recommend is rather than using the content browser, go into my tools and click on content because everything will be laid out beautifully here. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at the outline together. So if you click on the first unit, it's administrative/outline blank forms. And what we'll do is we will have a peek at the outline. Awesome. Now, I've never made a perfect outline yet, and this one probably won't be. Office hours, it says TBA. I think that my office hours are going to be 11:30 to 12:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that'll be in my office, CBA 225C. I'll also be online, and I think the best time for me to be online is on Wednesdays, and I will try to be online to answer your questions from, let's say, 11 till 12 on Wednesdays. So if you want to get a hold of me, 11 to 12 on Wednesdays, and I'll be there and should be able to answer your emails fairly quickly. Intended learning outcomes are really a cure for insomnia, so if you want to read these later, you can, but I'm not going to go through them. Required materials, there's a new textbook this year, and unfortunately, because you're taking the online version and I've posted the solutions to all the chapters, you probably want to get the new textbook, otherwise your questions and solutions might not match up. The only calculator that you're able to use in this course is the Texas Instruments BA2+. I guess not quite the only one, because you can also use the BA2+ Professional. And the price at the bookstore isn't bad, actually. Now, rather than me going through the entire outline, let me just tell you how it's organized. So the first thing is we're going to start off slow, and then we're going to pick up to blinding speed, and towards the end we'll taper off a little bit. This is a really full course, and it's going to be a full course doing it online. You're going to have to put in quite a bit of time on this course. But it will start slowly because it's a short week this week. All you have to do is read chapter 1, and it's one of those chapters that tell you why this is the greatest course in the history of the world and why you have to take it. I won't test you on any of that, but there is a section on ethics, and if you go into the discussion section of your course, you'll see that there's a post, and what I want you to do is to read business newspapers or business issues and just write down one ethical issue that you come up across. So that's the only thing that you have to do for this week, and that'll be due on September the 9th. So the other thing that you'll notice as you start to go through the course is that you'll see that there's a pattern. Just about every week there'll be an online assignment to do, and we'll go and have a peek at them in a little bit. The assignment is due on Friday at 5. Friday at 5:01, I'll release the solution, and you get to correct your assignment. When you correct your assignment, make sure that your corrections are visible to me. What I suggested you do is to highlight them in yellow, and this works really well if you do your assignments in Word, because there really aren't a lot of formulas that you have to do. Just make sure that it's neat, legible, and that your corrections are clearly done, and that'll be fine. I will mark your first assignment for completion. So your initial submission, the one that's due on Friday, as long as you make a good attempt and answer all the questions, I'll give you full marks. If you leave questions out and you don't really answer them fully, well, then I may take off marks from the first assignment. But mostly what I want to mark is your corrected assignment that you hand in. So you can't hand in nothing and then hand back the corrected assignment. I'll give you nothing for that. The other pattern that you'll see is for just about all of these assignments, the regular chapter assignments, 5:01 Friday, or 5 o'clock on Friday, your initial submission's due, and midnight on Sunday is when you have to get the corrections back to me. And for both of those things, you will load them into the Dropbox. So let's move away from this for just a second. We'll go back to content. And we'll just go through how this works. So let's look at section 1. Section 1 is a little bit different because it is split into 2 weeks. Just about all your other sections, you've got 2 chapters jammed into 1 week. So if you look, you'll see that there's PowerPoints, and there's also a web page. And if you open up the web page, you'll see that it has some overview notes that I've written. And it will also have some videos that I've put together. So read my notes, go through the videos, have a look at the chapter. It'll be beautiful. Then once you've done that, you'll see that there's also PowerPoint slides. Have a look at the PowerPoint slides as well. So for each chapter, I'm going to give you PowerPoint slides. I'm going to give you my own notes and some videos, and you've got the textbook to read. There's also discussion, so if you have questions, write down your questions. Your classmates can help you, and I'll look at the discussion questions, try to look at them every day, and I'll wade in and answer. Practice the questions. You'll see on the outline that for every section there are questions. These questions are assigned, but they're questions that you're going to do for your own personal growth. And for each one of these sections, I will give you the solutions to all the questions in the textbooks. And then the final thing for each one of these modules is you've got an assignment, and your first assignment isn't due till September the 14th, but as I said, the assignment's due on the Friday, and at 5:01, if you were to come back and look at this, you would see that another file had opened up, and that would be the solution. You can download the solution, make your corrections, and get those in by Sunday at midnight, well, 11:59. Okay, so if you look in the activities discussion due dates column, you'll see that there's questions included here. These questions in black are ones that you do for practice. The ones in red are ones that you do and I'll mark. Now the first discussion post is really a way for me to kind of take attendance in the first week, but as we go down, 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 down here. Anyway, if you go down and you look at the weightings for the course, the assignments are worth quite a bit. So it says that the assignments are worth 15%. So that 15% is split 6% for your exam review assignments. There's going to be one for each midterm and one for the final. So those are 2% each. And then there's going to be 9 regular assignments that count for 14%. And I'll drop your worst of the 14 assignments. So if you can't do an assignment, then just run out of time. It's okay because you can drop one assignment. What I'd suggest you do is submit a blank page. I'll give you 0 for that, but if you submit something, then the solution will get released to you and you can use the solution. So the reason that you can drop one assignment is that it makes it easier for all of us. During the course of a term, something will happen and you can't finish an assignment. What I don't want to have to deal with and what I won't deal with is all kinds of excuses about why you couldn't get the assignment, your computer wasn't working at 11:57. Well, don't do your assignment at 11:57. Something happened, you went away. I don't want any of those excuses. And if you were to come to me with those excuses, PowerPoint slides.
My name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Need to let it go.
Don't try and reschedule your exams. Just if you miss an assignment, you miss an assignment. They're not worth very much. You can drop your lowest assignment. That only counts for the assignments for the chapters. So don't come to me with some reason why you missed your assignment and ask for me to open up the assignment again or accept a late assignment, because the answer is no. You can drop your lowest assignment. They're not worth that much each. And the lowest assignment that you can drop is one of the chapter assignments. That won't apply to the midterm review assignments. The other assignment here is a budgeting practice set, and when you get to chapter 4, you'll start to run through a cash budget, and you may have done this in your other accounting classes. What I'm hoping that you'll do is put together a cash budget all on a beautiful Excel spreadsheet, and what I'm looking for when I mark it is that I can change some of the assumptions or some of the numbers, and it will automatically update your budget and the financial statements that you're going to come up with. So that's the budgeting practice set. The other thing that I guess we should look at, since we're here, is we should look at when your midterms are. So midterm number 1, chapters 1 through 8, is on October the 13th. They're on Saturdays because you are all distance students and some of you are working. It's the only time I can guarantee that there should be no conflict. Okay, so October the 13th, and your next midterm would be on November the 17th. Final exam will be determined by the registrar. So once again, you're expected to write the exams in class time. You may say, well, I've got a vacation booked. Something's come up at the last minute. I can't write the exam. Can I write it at another time? The answer is no. Okay, you have to write in the scheduled time. If you're going to have a conflict, then maybe this isn't the course for you to take or the time for you to take it. Okay, let's quickly zoom through the rest of this outline. Assignment formatting, as long as it's neat and as long as it's your work, we won't have a problem. Don't submit an assignment that's copied partially from someone else, or we'll have a big problem. Exam dates won't be rescheduled. I said that. If you miss an exam for a medical reason, then I need a doctor's note. There's no exceptions to that. And the academic honesty, take some time and read it because it's been updated to deal with more situations. Basically what it's saying is if you cheat, I will crush you like a bug. And that's it. This is the first time through this course as a distance course, so there may be a glitch or two. One of the things that I've said in your weighting is that you're going to get 3% for discussion. So if you find a glitch in the course or something's not clear, please put it into the discussion thread and I'll have a look at it. And if it's reasonable, I'll fix it. Either way, it'll work toward your 3% discussion bonus. So you can possibly get 103% in the course. All right, I hope everyone has a great course. Not too much to do this week. Just scour some periodicals and newspapers and find an ethical issue that some companies are facing and just write a brief summary of it in the discussion post along with your name. And that'd be awesome.